Hello, I am your host, Dr. Jack Braha, and welcome to the show. Here we bring you local healthcare providers to discuss the topics that matter most to you and your health. Our guests are active in the community, providing healthcare to our residents, and we are happy to welcome Paulette Forbes, an advanced imaging technologist at One Brooklyn Health System at Brookdale. It is fitting that we have Ms. Forbes here today, as we are in the month of October, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Part of Ms. Forbes' role at One Brooklyn Health System at Brookdale is to perform mammography exams, a key part of screening for breast cancer. So welcome to the show, and I'm happy to have you, Ms. Forbes.
Thank you, Dr. Braha. It's a pleasure to be here.
So from what I understand, you've been doing this for a little while here at Brookdale. Tell us, how long have you been?
I've been doing mammograms here at Brookdale for the last 32 years.
32 years.
Correct.
So I am sure that you have done thousands upon thousands of mammograms.
Yes, I have.
And is this your specialty, or do you do other functions here at the hospital?
It's my specialty, but I also do other functions.
So when it comes to getting a mammogram, we know that this is important because it's one of the ways that we screen for breast cancer, which is the leading cancer and cancer killer in women. Tell us a little bit about how this process works.
You can walk into any medical center that provide that service, give them the name of your physician, and just say to them, I feel something, and at that point, radiologists within our facility or any other facility will now make a conscious decision, reach out to your physician, and determine from there what happens next for you.
Right, and even if someone doesn't feel anything, they should start screening at a certain age anyway, just to look. That's correct?
Definitely correct. And the age that is recommended is 40 if you have no family history. If there's a family history, there's really no set age. You can come in not necessarily to get a mammogram, but we can also use another imaging process, which is called ultrasound or sonography, to be able to detect. Ultrasound will show you more of a mass, but if there are calcifications, the best process is through having a mammogram.
A mammogram, which is an x-ray. So for our viewers out there today, especially the women watching today, they have to be aware of the age when they should start checking on this and speak with their doctor, or they can come and enroll into a screening program, like you said, at one of the institutions around town that does this. And if there's a family history, even more importantly, to have a conversation with their doctor, their family doctor, or a breast specialist to determine what's the right test and when to start testing. So for the guests and the viewers who are watching today, tell us a little bit about what a mammography is, because I know as a physician what it entails, but when my patients talk about going to get one, there is some fear. They're not aware of exactly how easy the process is. There's always concerns about pain, how long it takes, are there risks from it? So why don't we have a conversation, or you can educate our viewers. How does it begin? From step one, really, from just entering the building, how is the process of getting a mammography completed here?
So getting a mammogram here or any place, but we'll talk about here at Brookdale, is that you walk through the door with or without a referral, preferably a referral if you have one. You come in. At that point, you will get an appointment. If there is no history or a mass felt, you will get an appointment. Once you get that appointment, you then come in. On that day, when you come in, you will meet with our registrar, who will now register you, and you will be escorted to our actual mammography suite. When you get there, we know that you are fearful, but one of our role is to somewhat, relieve that fear. Yes, we know that there are women who may have had experiences that are not so comfortable. So one of the things that is recommended, that if ladies are having their menstruation, you should not come in for a mammogram, because during that period, your breast is more tender. If you just have a baby, we ask that, and you are breastfeeding, we ask that you don't come in for a mammogram at that point either. So with the fear factor, you come in, we are there to somewhat help you to understand that it's a teamwork. It's you and I working together. So now compression, right, which is x-ray or a picture that is now being taken with our device, but more the technologist who is well experienced here at Brookdale.
That's you doing
That's
it,
me
right?
and my 5 peers. So between the 6 of us, we have over 100 years of experience
Wow.
working
Wow,
as
that's great.
mammographers.
So this is compression. This is the point where the breast is placed onto
Oh.
the machine to
right.
take a photograph. Tell us about that.
So once we position the patient, what we try to do at this point is to ask the patient to now relax. Be comfortable, because if you raise your shoulder, what's happening is that the muscle, axillary muscle, now becomes rigid. So with that, definitely it doesn't matter the least amount of compression, you are going to feel more pain. So once you are relaxed, we are now able to work with you with the compression. We have manual compression and we have automatic compression. Automatic compression, you use your feet to do that compression while you're holding the breast. So what we do is hold the breast with one hand, and if I'm now examining the right breast, I'm standing on the left side of the patient. So my left hand is now holding that right breast in place on our bucket tray, or cassette as it is called. And what we are now doing is making sure that as the automatic compression is coming down, our patient is not pulling backwards, right? So once we school the patient and says, how do you feel? Let me know. Are you okay? Can I compress a little bit more? The patient will say, yes, you can. Now, with experience, you know automatically compression, you now need to stop and now use your right hand to manually kind of fine-tune out the rest of that compression that you need. And 99.9% of the time, the patient will say, oh, I didn't feel anything, what I was told.
They were expecting worse.
Right.
So the outcome is usually a very happy and good experience.
Always.
How long does that take to do the mammograms for both of the breasts?
From start to finish, 10, 15 minutes maximum, depending on the patient mobility. If you have someone like you, Dr. Jack, who is young and, able to move about swiftly, 10 minutes.
If I ever need a mammography, I'm coming to you.
Please do.
It sounds like you know what you're doing here and putting the patients at ease. There certainly is a lot of fear out there, and it sounds like this process is really something not to be feared. Only 10 or 15 minutes that can save your life.
Correct.
And so how many mammographies might you do in a day, or when you're staffing the mammography center?
In a day, we have 15 to 20 mammograms scheduled, because right now we have one machine, right? We are building a new mammography suite. It's in the process, so eventually we will have 2 state-of-the-art machines right here at
Sounds
one
exciting
building.
to be expanding
Very.
and increasing the state of the art of
Yes.
the center. That's wonderful. And then once the mammography is done, the picture is taken, it then goes off to a physician, a radiologist.
Digitally, yes.
They go ahead and they read the mammography. Is it done right then and there, or is it a process where they read it a day or 2 later and then contact the patient? How does the patient get the results?
So, 2 ways. If it's a screening mammogram, most of the time the result within 2 to 3 days. If it's a diagnostic, all diagnostic patient, and what that means, someone came before, had a screening mammogram, something may have been detected on the images, they're now called back to do something that we call a follow-up. With that follow-up, none of our patients are being done without our radiologists present in the mammography suite. So once the diagnostic images are completed, the patient now waits, the radiologist reads it, and let the patient know if there's a need for follow-up or just come back within the next screening period.
So this process is a little different for diagnostic when they actually already know something could be there and they're following up. But if it's for screening, the patient can come in, get the mammography done in 10 or 15 minutes, and then just await a result.
2 to 3 days. And the results are being given 2 ways. the patient will get a letter in the mail that will inform them what their result is, if they need to contact their physician, or if they need to come back within that year or a year. The other way is that the report goes directly to the physician also who sent the patient to have that procedure done.
So this sounds like a no-brainer. I turn to the age where I need a mammography or there's a family history. I take 10 or 15 minutes out of my day, and I could detect something, hopefully before it's too late, where it's in a curable stage sometimes, all by seeing you.
Correct.
It's amazing what you do, and it really is helping women out there to detect breast cancer early and hopefully in a treatable and curable stage. Tell us a little bit about the age range of people that you see, because in my practice, I've seen many women who are very young, unfortunately diagnosed with breast cancer. So for our viewers out there, it's not unusual for you to see a young female under the age of 40. That's correct, right?
Correct. Correct. So, as you say, Dr. Jack, it's not unusual. However, when those patients do come in, because their physician says we feel something, the first thing we do is not a mammography. We first have the patient now to get a sonography. After that sonogram is done, then the decision is made based on the reading, whether or not we now have that patient get a mammogram done.
So let's talk a little bit about what a sonogram is. We want everyone to understand the process so there's no fear or apprehension out there. Sonograms are done all over the body.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how the breast sonogram is completed here.
So a breast sonogram is completed here radiology is all over this hospital. We are located in the ER, the operating room, the first floor. Our main office is on the 4th floor, and we are also on the 3rd floor. So our mammography suite right now is on our main floor, the 4th floor, and our sonography department is on our 3rd floor. So it's just a walk down the step for that patient. We don't allow a patient to walk down. When you get to the sonography department, you would have already be registered because you had a mammogram. So you go down, the sonographer will now get a phone call from the radiologist who now consult with the sonographer, which is not me, I'm a mammographer. So the sonographer will have the dialogue with the radiologist as to what he or she is looking for, what area. We refer to the breast as a clock. So the radiologist will use that language to the sonographer, and it's pain-free. It's waves that are being used.
And it's safe. It's the same waves we use to look at
no
babies,
radiation
right?
at all. It's just waves that are being used to do the detection.
Right.
And as I mentioned before, it's great if you're looking for mass. For calcification, we recommend mammography.
The X-ray. So again, just like mammography, this is a painless exam. It's a quick exam. And there's really a team approach to it with the sonographer or with you, like the mammographer, working with the physicians to localize whatever abnormalities could be there and treat them early. Now, you've been doing this for 32 years, long time. What's the best part of your day?
Oh, the best part of my day is getting a patient who comes in fearful because they may have lost someone who had breast cancer. So now their thinking is, I too have breast cancer. So now it's no longer just being the technologist, but now I'm the sister. I've become the friend. I've become, the teacher, the counselor, and I just love it.
Yeah, it's very personal to go
Yes,
for a
it is.
mammogram and women's health. It's nice to have a partner in it. I like that word of a partner or a
Yes.
sister, because for us as physicians, we see the patients, we go over the reports, we diagnose them. There's more to that teamwork. There's more to that. There's the counseling portion. The breast team here, do they do breast surgery here at this hospital?
Yes, we do.
So your patients that you diagnose with something here can actually be treated
Here,
with the system?
if their physician is a part of the system, that's a
Right,
choice now
right.
that is made.
So all the care is available under one roof here.
Yes, it is.
So that you told me about yourself a little bit, but where are you from originally? Are you from Brooklyn?
Originally, I was born in Jamaica, left there when I was 15, and I've spent most of my life here in Brooklyn.
You're a Brooklynite.
Right here in East New York.
Always here at this hospital, or have you been to other places?
I've worked as a per diem in my early years as a technologist at Kingsbrook and also at Gutman Institute, 34th Street in Manhattan.
So here on site at the Brookdale Center here, do you teach other mammography technicians how to do the exam? Do you have students who you're showing or educating?
We teach technologists, not technicians.
Technologists?
Yes, so yes, we do. Yes, we do, self-training. We are always going to seminars. The radiologists here are always bringing back, new information to us. So what we do here at Brookdale as mammographers, we have a family circle where each one teach one.
Always expanding the knowledge.
Always.
What do you hope for the future of the mammography program and the breast program going down the road?
My hope for the future is that we will be able to engraft, for lack of a better word, more certified or qualified mammographers, young ones. Why? Because they are more enthused as youth, and what we do, right, after a while, if the passion dies from it, I believe then it's time to leave it, right? So for me, I'm hoping that in the future we'll be able to, attract younger mammographers who have the same passion that I do and my peers do, and help other women, to understand that we're here for you and we can do this together.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense, and in keeping with the theme of enthusiasm, how is it best that we can convince women who are watching today to have the same enthusiasm about how you have to do a mammography for another woman? How can we convince them to be enthused about coming in and excited to come and be proactive about their health? What message can we send today about this?
What I would like to say to young women, middle-aged women, old women, it doesn't matter your age, you need to take care of your health. As women, we have always taken care of everyone else. But it comes a point in time where we have to recognize that being sick, we cannot take care of those who are expecting us to take care of them. So let's come in, get our mammograms. I myself just had my mammogram back in January, thank God, and had to get a 6 months follow-up. And I came in, even though I work here, had some fear because, the unknown is always fearful.
The anxiety is always there. Yeah.
Came in, had my follow-up right here. I'm not one that's going to go somewhere else. I work here. I'm going to make sure that my institution is always here, right? By giving it back the business, right? So I would just say to every woman out there, don't be fearful. Come in. Let us work with you. Let us walk you through the process. Let us help you to understand how important having a mammogram is. Sometimes, I don't know if it's because of where we are located here, we get patients, and I call it too late, because sometimes stage 4, right? Sometimes it's because they don't have insurance, so they don't come. Sometimes it's because of the fear. But I'm saying to every woman that's hearing my voice today, and yours, Dr. Jack, is please don't make that mistake. Come in, let us work with you, let us detect you early, because early detection does save lives.
Yeah, and I think that's important, what you talked about, coverage and health coverage. We live in a city that thankfully is able to provide health care for all of its residents, no matter their ability to pay. There's always a way of getting these tests done. And the most important thing about these tests is that done early, we find disease that we can cure.
Correct.
And you brought up another point, which is very important in healthcare for our viewers to understand. In order for you to trust a place to go for your healthcare, one of the greatest ways to gauge that is, where do you go for your healthcare? Where does your provider go for his or her healthcare? So you came here for your mammogram.
I work here for the last 33 years.
And you have more experience than probably most people I've ever spoken to in breast imaging. And if you're coming here and you trust it here, our viewers should take heart in that
Yes.
that you came to your place of work and trusted them with your health.
Yes.
There's a couple of things that are unique to our time right now. It is October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We dedicate this month to providing information to the public like we are doing today. We're also in a pandemic. Let's talk a little bit about COVID and how it's affecting breast cancer. Can we get mammograms during the time of COVID?
Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, back in March, we, not just Brookdale, but healthcare, were not doing mammograms. We had mammograms on hold for a while. But for the last 2 months or so, we are back in full gear doing our patients, and we are reaching out to the community and we're saying, please come in. We are here 6 days per week. We're here Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. in the morning until 8 p.m. at night, 5 days a week. We also offer service on Saturdays from 8 to 4. Right now, the Saturday part of the program is not back or alive again yet, but Monday to Friday, we decided staying late, for those who may work, you don't have to take a day off from work. From 4 to 8 p.m., Monday to Friday, we're here to serve you.
And you said wearing all the equipment and gear. Now we have extra gear with the mask.
Definitely.
So everyone is masked so that we're preventing spread. So if you want to come here for a mammogram, everyone is protected, you'll be protected, and more importantly, we won't delay important health care.
Definitely. With the gears, we wear masks, we wear face shields, we wear our PPEs, a gown, and if the patient requests it, it's yours also. Because
Right.
You protect me, I protect you.
Right, we want to be sure that our viewers understand that just because the pandemic is going on, other health issues don't take a pause. Breast cancer doesn't stop developing,
Not at
other
all.
cancers don't stop developing, and women's health is very important. You also mentioned that women are always busy taking care of everyone else, and women are really the center of the healthcare at home. And so it is very important that, you as a technologist and as a physician and all, we're always busy taking care of other people to pause and take care of ourselves. For our female viewers out there, this is a very important thing. We want every year for you to come and get screened at the appropriate age, at the appropriate time. You'll meet with a technologist like Ms. Forbes, maybe even with a physician, and get really comprehensive care. Let's talk a little bit about the stresses associated with the diagnosis of breast cancer. I am sure you've met with many patients who have dealt with breast cancer.
Yes, I have.
What are some of the unique things that you see in patients who have been diagnosed, and how can they cope with this, and what's available out there for them that you must know about in your 30 plus years?
So some of the unique things, I believe, once you're diagnosed, now we become a family. So we will do the walk with you. Don't let insurance be a deterrent, please. That's backseat when it comes to your care. You come in, you don't have insurance, you will get your mammogram. If you need breast surgery, you will have breast surgery also. We can talk about the money later.
We
right?
can always treat our patients.
Always treat our
Don't
patient.
be afraid of money.
Don't be afraid
of the issues with insurance.
Not at all. You come in, if you don't have a physician or a surgeon, we can recommend surgeons, right? It's your choice. And you come in and we'll just work with you and make sure that, your care will be the best that you will ever have, and not only the care, but the experience that you will garner here is just amazing.
I'm sure you've had some long relationships with patients here over the years.
Yes.
Anything stick out to you? Anything you'd like to share with us?
Patients who come back and they ask directly for me, or another technologist who may have done them, and every year they come back, and if you're not here, they're not having their mammograms. So they'll call to make an appointment, and they'll ask, I'm the tall lady, she have the Jamaican accent, I want her,
That's
so
wonderful.
it's
That's
just
wonderful.
great.
So you have these ongoing relationships where you meet with the same
Yes.
patient over and over and have a family atmosphere. It sounds nice that you have this relaxed environment. I don't want our viewers, who I've heard from in the past, who are fearing to go for the mammogram, it sounds like you make it so comfortable. You have an ongoing relationship, whether they come back every year to just be screened or, God forbid, they're diagnosed with something, that you have this family approach together. In the future, you're expanding the environment here with another machine. What do you see about technology in the future? What's on the horizon that we should know about that's the future of imaging?
Well, it's here already, and it's called the, I'm sorry.
It's okay, describe it for us.
So it's part of the imaging process now that gets connected, I'm sure you know of it, to your equipment, where now this machine doesn't use radiation, but it is able to take pictures and compile them on top of each other, where now the radiologist is looking at scans of that breast image, and it's now able to direct you where there might be a mass where normally you probably would not see.
So even better imaging is on the
Even better
horizon.
imaging is on the horizon.
We're always making advances in medicine, and especially here in the case of breast imaging. So in your 32 years here, much has changed, much will change in terms of technology and our ability to treat breast cancer and to find breast cancer early. I really want to thank you for being on the show. You know, it sounds like you've made such a difference here in the lives of women and all the other X-ray and technology that you employ here. So thank you so much for coming. Any message you want to leave for our viewers today regarding breast cancer screening?
Thank you for having me, Dr. Braha. I just want to say to the listeners today or the viewers that breast screening is very important. So don't wait to feel something. Please make sure that once you get to that age that is recommended, come in, go wherever your choice is, and get that mammogram done. If there's a family history, please don't wait to be that age.
Jump on it
Jump sooner,
Yep.
and let's detect what might be there.
It's been an honor to speak with you, and you've educated me quite a bit, and I'm sure for our viewers too. I want to thank you for your interest in our show and your desire to become involved and educated about healthcare. People like Miss Forbes make a huge difference in screening women for breast cancer. It is so important. This is October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For all of our viewers out there, speak with your physician, your primary care provider, or direct access to mammograms is available, especially during the time of COVID, where we may have taken some bit of a delay. So thank you for watching. I invite you to visit our website at www.zurmed.com. I'm Dr. Braha, and thanks for watching.